Oh, the suspense is killing me.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
He does look a little bit like Drew.
Right?
Yeah.
I told him that
It's
last
9 p.m.
Oh, shit.
on a Thursday night. In fact, it's April 14th, 2022. And this is Crime and Culture Live. I'm Tim here tonight with Lance. What's going on, Lance?
Oh, it's a beautiful night. We've been doing these crime and cultures every other Tuesday, but we decided to make an exception for this particular week. This is Thursday. It feels like old school Thursday, True Crime Thursday. But happy tonight to have our wonderful guests on from the amazing Going West True Crime podcast. We have Daphne and Heath down there in the. Oh, he's blowing kisses.
Hello.
How are you?
Do we get roses too?
Yes, virtual roses. We should have planned it out where I passed you a rose through my camera. Like
I love it.
And then he
you could have
grabbed the rose.
Yeah.
I think that's like a TikTok thing. You can gift people roses. Oh wait,
yeah.
I have a rose.
Oh, that's kind of
Okay,
Well,
yeah,
you know what they say, a rose by any other name.
What does that mean?
I don't know. All I know is I didn't find, I try to do intro music for our guests, and this is all I could find for you guys.
I love it. Yes. Let's go.
That's it. Yeah.
All right.
It's really tough to find a song with the word West in it that is a.
Oh my god. Oh
That's
yes,
true.
yes.
That's so true,
It's clicking
yeah.
now. It's clicking now.
Yeah, yeah.
I've blathered on long enough. How
What was my
the F
ringtone in
are
fifth
you?
grade?
Welcome to the show, Daphne and Heath. How are you doing? What is going on?
So
Catch us
good.
up.
We're
You
doing
know,
great.
Yeah, all is well. We
All's
are
well.
living in Portland now, as you know. So that's the newest. And it was hailing today. It's been hailing for 3 days.
Yeah, it actually snowed like 2 days ago here, which is like in my life, I've lived here pretty much my whole life. It's never snowed in April in Oregon, at least like in Portland, metropolitan areas. So it was really weird. And yeah, kind of sucky.
Kind of scary that this is happening.
Yeah, and kind of sucky because none of us want the snow. So, but yeah, other than that, we've just been working a lot and been working on special projects.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
we have.
Yeah.
We can we say it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. We
Got
can,
it, got it.
Ooh, Sclusy.
Exclusive. Yeah. So we've been working on bringing back our sister show, The Dark Parts, which was on hiatus for quite some time. And I'm really excited.
Did we talk to you guys about the dark parts ever?
Yes, I
Yeah.
do recall this. Yeah.
No, we did 17 episodes,
Yeah.
and then we
Just
totally
urban
stopped.
legends and just spooky stories.
Yeah,
from
we
around
stopped.
the world.
We stopped a little over a year ago because we just so much
Yeah.
doing the show and that and working, and now we are able to do it. So we're bringing it back, and we're like we have Unsolved Mysteries on right now, but we've just been like watching it, getting some inspiration.
We've been binging some Robert Stack over here for the last few days. So
So that's probably going to come out May-ish. Where
Yeah.
we're
Very
gonna
cool.
So yeah.
Very cool. Any topics that we need to discuss, even just or your tease, like any
Okay.
like
Mm.
what kind of beasts, mythical creatures are we talking about here?
Can I say the one?
Give us a big market
I won't give it
tease.
away. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I'm totally
yeah.
going to spoil it. But you guys remember the one from the 70s, the original When a Stranger Calls, but then the remake from 2000.
Yes.
Yeah. So we watched the remake. I hadn't seen it in so long, and he had never
I had
seen
never
it.
seen it. Yeah.
So we watched it 2 weeks ago or something. And then we were kind of like looking it up and realizing that it stems from this whole like
Urban legend.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
The Babysitter and the Man Upstairs.
Yes.
Mhm.
Such a creepy title.
Yeah. So we kind of went into, I didn't label the episode that specifically because there's not a whole lot of actual stories
Babysitters.
of like babysitters and men upstairs.
Yeah.
So I just called it The Man Upstairs. But I found like just a bunch of different like stories of people living in other people's attics for periods of time.
So
and
it's so scary.
it's very creepy. And yeah, that's kind of the stuff we like to go into with the show. It's a lot of fun. And yeah.
Fun for
Very
us.
cool.
For the people
Really,
that-
honestly, nothing. Only a couple of things creep me out more than someone living in the walls of your own home.
Oh my
What
God,
creeps
yeah.
you out more than
Well,
that?
didn't we talked about that actually with Daniel LaPlante's case
Uh-huh,
from,
yeah.
and that's from Massachusetts, I think, right?
Yeah.
Daniel LaPlante, yeah.
Right? You guys know that
He was-
case.
do you
Oh, sure. We know everything about Massachusetts crime. Yeah, Danny. Oh, Danny. Danny LaPlante.
You have
Danny
to.
boy.
Oh,
Wait,
Danny.
you don't know Daniel
Danny.
Plante?
Danny from down the way.
Oh my God.
Danny from
Wait,
down the
let me
way.
see. Oh my God, hi Michelle. Wait, you don't know Daniel LaPlante? I mean, not personally.
Okay, so he was a guy basically living in the
me see.
walls of
Yeah.
of a
Townsend,
family.
Massachusetts.
Townsend,
What is going
Massachusetts.
on,
This was
guys?
in the 80s. But he ended up murdering like a wife and her children.
No, shoot, the wife was already dead, right?
Wait, no, I don't
Oh
know.
my God, we
Anyway,
covered
I
this,
can't
like,
remember. This
3
was
years
a
ago.
long time ago. This was like episode like what 5 of Going West or something.
Probably.
Something like
Damn.
that.
And
Yeah. So
anyway,
that is
he
creepy.
was living in the walls, and well, I remember one detail that he would like knock at the daughters were doing a seance to try to contact their deceased mother, and he would do these knocks while he was within the wall, and they were believing that they were actually in contact with their deceased mom, but it was
it
literally
was just
this
this
boy in their wall.
teenage boy living in their wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very, very creepy.
How long was he in the wall for, or in the walls?
God, I don't know.
I think for like a few months, like, yeah.
But
I mean,
also, he had tried to go on a date with one of the girls, and he totally catfished her and made her believe that he was this, like,
really good looking,
jock
like
guy or
athletic
something?
jock. Yeah, but he was this
How?
nerd,
He-
like just weird.
like on the
dude.
phone.
Yeah, on the phone.
Oh.
He like
Yeah.
somehow got her phone number and then called her. And like,
There's somebody probably watching, like, oh my God, they knew nothing about this.
yeah, right. Yeah. It was so long ago, but
I love how you said he somehow got her phone number. You're talking about somebody who figured out how to live in their walls for a
right.
while.
You're right, you're
He
right.
probably
I gotta
was
brush
pretty
up.
resourceful.
I gotta brush up. It's a crazy story,
Yeah,
though.
it is crazy.
That is crazy. I love that. I love that our conversation went in this direction. It's
Spooky
it's
stuff.
really like it's a fear of mine to be working up here in the because I have a I record out of an attic
Yeah.
in my home. And I
Right.
can see like where my door is, but it's just like it kind of goes down and I can just see the top of the door. And it's always freaked me out thinking like if that door opened and someone came in that I didn't recognize.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
that-
God.
that's-
There's,
right?
there's
Wouldn't
that-
that
Oh
there's,
Definitely.
there's a creepy man
gonna
living
happen.
in Lance's attic, and it's Lance.
if you can't find the creepy man in your attic when you're in your
It's
attic.
you.
It's
Yeah,
you.
it's you. It's gotta be you.
Good start to this.
Yeah.
8 minutes
yeah.
in and we're already
This is-
down a
we're-
avenue that I love.
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. Speaking of rocking and rolling, you guys are going to CrimeCon in Vegas in a couple weeks, right?
So are
Yes,
you.
and so are
Yeah.
you. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
we are. This
We're
is
gonna
going to
meet in
be
person for the first.
This will be the first time. Yeah.
this is going to be an absolute blast. You guys feel like old friends at this point. I feel like we've
I
met in
know.
person several times by now.
Yeah,
We've actually never met in person.
I know that's really weird to think.
I know,
Yeah.
it is so
Actually,
strange,
It's
isn't it?
bizarre.
Yeah.
It feels like that's not true, but it is.
Yeah.
So I.
I'm not even sure if Lance and I have met in person at this point.
At this point, I don't even know if I'm different
It's all a
than Tim.
conspiracy.
I feel like we are the same person.
I'm this tall now. I'm no taller.
Yeah, exactly. When we go to CrimeCon, we'll put cardboard frames around ourselves and we'll just wheel ourselves around in office chairs.
Perfect.
Perfect.
That's right. Yeah.
It's convenient.
It'll be fun though. We're gonna have a ton of fun. I can't wait to hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I have a feeling
Everybody
Do whatever CrimeCon people do. Like I don't know what that is.
we're going to cause a big scene on Podcast Row. I don't know exactly how yet, but I know we're going to be recording stuff. We're going to cause a scene.
How do we know where we're sitting? Like, are we gonna sit near you?
Do you have
guys? Like, can we
assigned
sit
seats?
next to you?
What happens is
Yeah.
they let all the podcasters gather outside and
But
and it's
behind
like
the
Hunger
gate.
Games style. They
Yeah.
give everyone the option to pick up something that they might be able to use as a weapon. And it
Yeah.
could be a table
Yeah.
leg. It
a mechanical pencil.
It could be
something that's-
a Yeti,
Merch. Yeah.
yeah.
merch, pins. Yeah.
And then it's just a
it's-
free for all. It's
Yep.
general admission. You just fight for the best spot.
Yeah. Start
Um,
fighting people's
The
ankles.
closest, whoever is closest to Billy Jensen wins. Basically.
That's what the game is. Perfect.
That's funny.
No.
No, but really,
No,
you guys gotta tell us.
Yeah, you
guys
gotta help us.
help us because we don't know
No.
anything about this. Our first year, so
yeah. Well, our first year was what, 2017.
Wait,
My
is that
God,
the
it
only
was.
time you went?
No, we went 3 years in a row, 2017, 18,
Oh.
and 19, Indy, Nashville, and New Orleans.
Did I think
Yeah.
you said you only went
Oh, I
once?
see.
It's like a whirlwind when we first got there. I remember the first year because it was, I think, CrimeCon's first year. Like we really
Yeah.
didn't like know what to expect at all. We rolled in like late, like I think because it started on Friday morning at like whatever 8 or 9, and we didn't even get in until Friday morning. And I think that was actually sort of, we weren't the only people who did that. I think CrimeCon actually moved back, I believe, the starting time on Friday just because of that reason, if I'm not mistaken, on this year. But not just because of us, it's just because some people fly in on Friday. But
I see.
it was so hectic, and we were just so, like, we didn't even get a chance to like catch our breath, and we already talked to like 100 people, and just, I don't know, it was such a whirl. It was such a shock to the system.
yeah.
Is that a decent read on it, Lance? That was a wild
I was kind of
That-
scared.
Yeah, it was like a ride. It was just like, it was like a I use this analogy all the time because I love it. It was like riding an insane horse to a burning stable. Like it was just like insane. And we had just done the Disappearance of Maura Murray, the TV show for Oxygen, and Oxygen is one of the major sponsors of it. So we were like the goddamn bells of the ball, and we were like, this is how it's going to be every year. Oh my goodness, we're like royalty. And then the subsequent years happened. We're like, oh, okay, they don't, we are not the bells of the ball. And that added to the
You guys are
whole.
royalty to us.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But that,
Yes.
that added to the whole
Real.
roller coaster.
Yeah, it really, I think after like the first half a day, you kind of take a breath and you're like, okay, I get what's going on here now. I understand my surroundings. I know how to feel comfortable here. I know I got to get lunch when I feel hungry because I might not get another chance for a few hours. The podcast row hours were, I don't know if there are specific hours for podcast row this year or how that's working out, but
So
in
what do you
years
do?
past, I know they
I
do.
think there is. I was just looking at that.
There is.
Yeah.
Do you just meet people that come by the booth, and then do you guys yourselves go into other exhibits and or just like other
Sure.
shows? I guess you wouldn't call them shows, but whatever you
Yeah,
want to call them.
presentations or panels. Yeah,
Presentation.
we sure do. I mean, I think it depends on if the podcast row hours are open. I think you're supposed to be by your booth, hanging out and talking to anyone. If it's not those hours, you can do whatever the F you want.
That's awesome.
Go, let's get loaded. Let's bet it all on black.
Yeah,
And,
let's go jump in that pond.
yeah, it's
that
gonna-
big
it's like-
old pond that's forbidden.
Yeah, the
Bellagio.
Bellagio fountain.
The fountain. Yeah.
And like you are required to stay at your table during the podcast row hours, but you can leave your table. When you get your table, make sure you're positioned in the relative visual line of John Lorden or Mike Morford, because you could just walk over to them and be like, hey, watch my table for a couple of hours. I'm going to go gamble. And they will do that for you. They're
like,
more
"Sure."
than happy to watch your table.
Great.
Perfect. I already have allies. So what do you guys have going on as far as projects right now?
Projects.
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, we are just cranking
Don't you dare
episodes
turn the
out.
tables on us.
Yeah, what the
What?
You
fuck?
guys become the interviewee.
We're the interviewers
Ooh.
here. You son
Almost
of
got
a-
us.
Put you on the spot. Let's go.
No, we've got crawl space episodes. We've got missing episodes. We're affiliated with Private Investigations for the Missing, the nonprofit founded by Bruce Maitland. So we're always cranking out episodes for those shows, and we do have another project that we've got going on that's been in development for
35 years.
Can
a
you
year
guess?
probably. It's a crime story. It's a kind of a big crime story as far as like scope of what really happened. It's not current, but it's something we've been pitching around, and we might just say F it and start the podcast version and just hop on
Hey,
that
Epic.
that
I love that.
that insane horse.
Is that going to
Yeah.
be like, is you probably, I don't know if you want to say or not, but is that going to be like a one-off kind of series type thing for you guys?
Well, it's a true crime story, but more than that, it's probably the greatest survivor story that we've ever been directly involved in. And I think that goes to your answer.
Okay.
It has enough material to go. I don't even want to say like season wise, but it's got enough material to go on until we're bored with it, which we won't be, but there's a lot of material.
Okay, I see. Well, that's
I
that's
can't
good to
even
know.
imagine.
Yeah.
No.
I'm excited for that.
Can't.
Let's get that
No.
going.
It's
Well, when
DB
will I
Cooper,
learn?
everybody.
Oh, love it. Let's go. I think I just watched the Unsolved
We
Mysteries.
did. We did. Yeah.
On DB.
Lance
I
loves-
love DB Cooper.
Loves DB Cooper. He wants to dive in. He's
Oh,
determined to
dive
solve
in.
it.
Oh, I'm obsessed with DB Cooper.
Yeah,
That's,
you're
well, because
into
that's like the one, for people who live in the Pacific Northwest, that was like the one that like your dad told you, like the one mystery. It's like, DB Cooper, like, so, or at least it was for me. I don't know if
Did I ever
think-
tell you the joke that Tim made about DB Cooper that I think about almost every day because it's so
Oh.
relevant?
Oh,
One day he just randomly texted me and he was like, if a good name for a dog would be DB Pooper. And
It would.
Oh my God.
you would.
I
do
think it's
that.
amazing.
I would do that. Yeah, I would definitely. name my
Well, now
dog
you
that.
have to do that, Lance.
Or better yet, name your child DB Pooper. Like just
No,
take it a
I
step
hate-
further.
I hate DB Cooper. I hate
So
DB Cooper
yeah,
so much.
Heath, let's get deep into this. What are your theories on DB Cooper? Because I've got several, and Lance will never let me talk about them.
Oh man.
Lance is out.
I don't know. I feel like he probably did not survive the jumping out of the airplane. I don't think he did, even though it is kind of strange that
Wait, you were just watching Without a Paddle yesterday.
I was literally yesterday. I was watching Without a Paddle, and they mentioned DB Cooper, but I don't think he survived. But it is strange that they found money buried on this like island in Washington. I'm like, oh, that's kind of fucking weird. So like, what happened there? I
Yeah,
don't know.
track back to him, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So what do you guys think? Theory.
Lance, I've got a gag
Don't give a
order
shit.
on.
It's like, I don't fucking care. He's probably
I've signed-
dead. Definitely dead. So I don't.
I've
Whatever.
signed an NDA. I can only ask questions about DB Cooper. No, I think it's probably my dad. But let's move on to
It's definitely your dad.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
No,
He's like, have you heard of the mystery? It's actually me. I'm actually the man.
Well, if you take a
And
picture of
I'm
Tim's
DB
dad and you
Cooper.
if you take a picture of Tim's dad and put it side by side with the composite sketch, it's remarkably unsimilar.
Oh, I see.
Tim, what's going on there?
What's
Oh
going
my
on,
God.
Tim? What's happening, man?
it's been sort of a recurring joke to suggest my dad is involved in some of these cold cases.
The Isabella
Very-
Stewart Gardner Museum
Love it.
heist.
Yeah, I think
What was
that
your-
made the cut at like
Yeah.
the end of the episode, like as just like a punchline at the end of an otherwise serious episode.
Nice.
If that would have been 1990, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum heist, 1990. That was like right in your dad's like.
Oh,
If you were to
It was
actually
definitely
look at the
dad,
composite
for
sketch,
sure.
like
No.
it could pass.
legit, he has a mustache. And my grandfather was a Cambridge police officer at that time, so he had access
get away
to
with
police uniforms if he actually wanted to. But I don't want to go down that road to suggest my dad is a suspect in the Gardner heist. I'm
Because
sure
it
he's
hits
not.
too close to home, and it's probably true.
I do remember the Storm of the Sea hanging in my grandparents' house, but I always figured it was just a
It
print.
was a replica. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it was a print.
Well, what about you guys? What have you been working on other than I guess revamp or what would you call that? A reboot of
Reboot?
Yeah, maybe reboot, relaunch.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
went on like a
something like
hiatus. I think it was in January of 2021. And then we just kind of like didn't think like we were talking about it consistently over last year, and then it just like the months rolled on kind of thing. So I guess we're just
we were like fuck, we just really want to
Yeah.
bring back that show, like let's bring it back. But then we're like, every time we would go to bring it back, we would look at each other and we'd be like, you know, that's a lot of work. Like,
but it's
do we
so
really
fun.
do we really
Like,
want to bring that back?
That's the thing, as you guys know, like with true crime, it's so serious and it's so real, and you want to be accurate, you want to be respectful. These are real people you're talking about. There's a family out there that has suffered through this thing that you're talking about, and so it can be really hard to do that.
Mhm.
But with the dark parts, it's you can laugh and you can just joke around and be spooked out without feeling bad about doing that. You know what I mean? So, because we keep going West like fairly serious, but we do kind of like throw in some lightheartedness here and there, but it can feel hard to do that because we're not trying to make light of this, you know?
Sure, yeah.
So with the dark parts, it's nice because we can totally make light of it because none of it is confirmed. We're talking about like, you know, urban legends and ghosts and hauntings and, you know, conspiracies, and it's just creepy and fun.
Yeah,
so
we can throw in
that's
like
nice.
our own personalities. And
Yeah.
Like if you know,
Yeah,
the
that's when,
people
like, we come
who
out.
know me like know that I love potty humor and stuff like that. I'm a huge child, so the dark parts is more for that. I get to kind of like do that more. I know,
Right.
Daphne, it's just like, can you tone it down, please? You fucking 12-year-old.
Well, you did say you were watching Without a Paddle, right? That this is like the
Yeah.
2002 Dax Shepard movie. right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Okay.
Oh, is that what
Yeah.
you were talking about?
Yeah. He was watching it yesterday.
Well, yeah, because I bought a projector and it was just like the first thing I saw on Netflix. So I clicked on it because I was testing out the projector to see if, you know, if it worked well.
We have
But-
this like patio.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, geez, look at you guys.
Nice
we have one
view.
upstairs too, and so we thought it would be nice in like the summer
just,
to
have
be able
movie
to watch movies
screenings.
out there and upstairs.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so I don't know why you chose Without a Paddle to stream as your test movie.
I
but
love
it's a
that
good movie.
So,
So yeah,
I'm into it. So.
but yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't what else? Oh, we just we have a really crazy episode coming out tomorrow for Going West. We recorded it today.
Yeah.
And which was pretty late to record.
Yeah.
But we did a case. Do you guys know the Hugues de la Plaza case?
Sounds familiar.
Also from
It is-
Massachusetts?
No.
Then we don't
You better
know
know it. You better know it.
It's this French man who he moved to New York and then he moved to San Francisco, and ultimately in San Francisco is where he died. And he was like 36, and in 2007 we just covered this case. Was that only 2 days ago?
Yeah.
that feels
Yeah.
like
The
ages
2
ago.
episodes a week thing is really just
Just messed with you.
yeah.
So we just did this episode, but I don't want to give it away, but it's believed the SFPD think it was a suicide, but it's obviously not. And the French authorities got involved and they were very adamant that it is not a suicide and it's a murder because he was stabbed 3 times. And
The knife was this
Oh, no, go
detail,
ahead.
intimate detail, but the knife was cleaned off after the stabbings,
apparently,
which is like, why would you stab yourself and then
go
clean
to the
off,
kitchen?
Yeah,
Like,
go to the kitchen, clean off the knife.
none of it
Like,
makes sense.
doesn't make any sense.
And like neighbors heard commotion and like running down the stairs and a door slamming, but his doors were locked. And so police were like, obvious, there's no sign of forced entry and the doors are locked. So obviously nobody came in here and killed him, but it's like,
yeah, it's one of those details where it's like, you could take it one way or you could take it the other. You could say, okay, well, maybe he locked the doors because he ran into his apartment. He was, trying to get away from this killer. Or you could see it the other way and say, oh, his doors were locked. So that means he probably killed himself because he was alone.
which
right?
I don't think is true at all.
So it's just like, yeah, it's, but
so
yeah.
we just covered that. So that's like a really frustrating one because it's just like, how dare you just assume he killed himself when I don't believe that.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, like, you're just kind of sad.
The only
for
people
the
that
case
believe
and
that
for him.
were the SFPD at the time,
Yeah.
and really nobody
F
else.
them.
The French police, they actually flew out and investigated. They don't believe it. Neither does Hugues' family and also his friends. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of like,
It's just sad that was the, like, I mean, it was undetermined. Oh my God, I'm like spoiling everything. but yeah, anyway.
but
it's crazy
if you haven't
case.
listened to the episode, go listen to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is intriguing.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you're getting some comments here. Excuse me.
Wait,
Dee
where
says,
do I find those?
oh, YouTube.
Oh, so I should go to YouTube. I was just thinking
Yeah, the crawl space YouTube
this
page.
because I have
Yeah,
not
we're gonna
seen
pull that up.
anything. I don't even know how many people are in here.
1,000?
Just the
Yeah.
four.
100,000? D said that you guys covered that case so well. Christine says definitely not a suicide. A lot of people are saying definitely not a suicide.
Yeah.
What is it about this? What is it about this individual that like was there a shady past going on? Was he like criminally involved?
No. So it wasn't really anything like that. He had a night out in San Francisco. He just came home. He made some food. What else happened?
He was like into like Japanese culture, and so they were kind of comparing the method of his death to, oh my god, I forget what it's called.
Oh, where the samurai kills themselves with the sword.
Yeah.
So they were kind of comparing it. Yeah, I can't remember. It starts with an H. I'm sorry, guys. They were comparing it to that. Like they kind of ran with that, and they're like, "Oh, that's it." And it's like, no, and there was a security camera on his street, but it didn't show his front door. And there was nobody seen going towards his apartment, even though there's a complete other angle that wasn't filmed. But police were like, oh, we don't see anybody coming to the apartment, but it's like, there is another side of the street,
Mhm.
So just things like that. And I feel like just because of how high crime was in San Francisco at that time and how high the murder rate was, I think they were just lazy and they didn't want to investigate another case. And this is my opinion, they saw an avenue of where they could kind of get out easy and just say, oh yeah, that was probably a suicide and we're just going to take it at that. You know? So just no justice.
I think
It's
I was
very
kind of
sad.
speculating that like maybe somebody, because the way his apartment was situated was like,
Yes, Michelle, you're right.
essentially, there wasn't any lobby. Like you wouldn't go through a lobby to get to your apartment. It was just like his front door was right on the street. So we kind of were speculating, like, is it possible that somebody saw him come home late at night, saw that as an opportunity, followed him? But I don't think we didn't mention if anything was stolen, correct?
No, they didn't think anything was stolen.
Oh, there was a watch found underneath of his body
His
and not
watch
on his wrist.
was broken under his body.
So we were kind of like, okay, was that somebody attempting to steal this watch, or you know what I mean?
Why would the watch be off if he was alone? And I don't know. There's so many things where you're like, what,
Mhm. So that's the most recent episode that we
Interesting.
been covering.
Yeah, that one, the watch sounds pretty suspicious. for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But it was
definitely-
broken.
Yeah.
It was broken. I think
The TV was overturned.
as
There was
well.
blood all over his apartment. Like I said, the neighbors heard like a door slam and they heard someone running down the stairs. So to me, that says somebody is running out of the apartment after they murdered him, But
Mhm.
I don't know who else would run down the stairs at that very time.
Yeah. So is it possible that he, like, if a killer was involved in this, and is it possible that person was spooked? Like maybe there was too much commotion going on. They got spooked and they ran out of there before they could steal anything.
Right.
I don't know. It's just, there's so many questions.
How do you reckon like, I guess, ear witness reports, like you mentioned, like someone who heard someone running down the stairs, like how is that known to be at the same time, and how much like credence do you give that on your show?
The neighbor who had said it was like all basically there was 2 apartments next to his. That was it. And the door to the apartments was outside. So it wasn't like an apartment building like we might be thinking. And the neighbors were really adamant that he did not kill himself and they were pushing for justice for him. So to me, I want to believe them because it feels like they're fighting for him. But also there was all these sounds, like the door slam, the running down the stairs, the sound of something hitting the wall or something falling.
There was like a thud hitting the wall.
So it
maybe
seemed like there was all this stuff there, but there wasn't any screams. But one of his wounds, oh shoot, I forget the exact detail. What was it? One of his wounds, like it stopped him from being able to speak. So it's like,
right.
That makes sense that you couldn't like yell,
Right. Yeah. So like his like his vocal cords were cut.
These details
essentially.
slip so easily. I don't know.
Yeah. So
how.
even if he wanted to, because he didn't call the police, did he?
No.
So yeah, because he was So even if he wanted to, he couldn't. He couldn't yell or speak. Or
So that was
scream.
another thing. Is his cell phone was in the room and it appeared untouched. So they were like, oh well, if he was murdered or he was attacked, why didn't he call for help? And it's like, well, maybe he didn't know where his phone was, or maybe he had fallen onto the floor because he'd suffered multiple stab wounds. So anywho,
that's the story that we just covered on.
Yeah.
Was it on Tuesday?
Mhm.
That
What-
episode came out on
That's what I'm
Tuesday.
saying. I can't believe that was only 2 days ago.
I know.
What kind of watch was it?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I don't know if they shared that detail.
Just why? Even though
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
good
think
because
that I
it's
would
like
be curious about myself.
it feels to me like watches are kind of hard to break. Like if you take your watch off, if I take my watch off and I put it on the floor and I fall on it, it's not breaking.
Right.
Sure.
So you're
yeah.
wondering, how did it break?
So how did it break?
Yeah.
Let me see
And
if
when I
it's-
hear things about broken watches, it always makes me think that they were broken intentionally so that someone could put a timestamp on something.
That's
Interesting.
true. Yeah. Like
Boom.
Case
closed.
Watch stopped at this time. So this
Detective
might
Lance!
indicate. Well, actually, there's a lot of cases that have been solved that way where
Yes.
where a watch is broken and the time is, and that's how they determine like this is when this person died. Like
Right.
time stopped,
I can't find
Yeah.
it in quick
Really
Google
interesting
search.
stuff though.
So my last question on this is this is a gentleman who moved from Paris to San Francisco.
He's a Frenchman. He moved in his late 20s to New York. And then with his girlfriend, they moved to San Francisco. And he loved living there. He was he was working in
He wasn't dating
Like
her at
tech.
the time though.
no, not when
Yeah.
he died, but that's why
Yeah.
he moved there.
He moved there.
But
for
yeah,
her.
but he was French, but he spoke English, and he'd been living in the US for 8 years or so.
The best part of this joke is how seriously you took the answer.
Wait, was
Because
that a
the
joke?
punch, yeah, no, because I haven't delivered the punchline yet. But
Oh
you-
God.
Oh, so you
Let's do that
specifically
again.
covered somebody who actually was going west.
it's very true. Yeah.
Boom.
Dad jokes.
You're
for
right.
days.
Case
Lance is
closed.
always on the go west thing.
I love it.
Always
It's
the
my
go west
favorite
joke.
joke.
And I always forget. Good
It was
job.
really great when you
God.
announced that you were moving back to Portland from Boise.
Oh,
That
I'm
was-
sure Lance is in a heyday with that. He's like,
Oh.
oh
Wait,
shit.
did you see that one comment? I feel like you guys had made the same joke, but what was it? Someone was like, I feel like my memory is just not working right now. Someone said something like, you went south and then you went east, and then you went south, then you went north, and then you went east, and then you went back to west. Cause that's literally what we did. Cause we went from Oregon to
Oh, yeah,
California,
yeah.
back to Oregon, to Idaho, to Oregon.
Yeah,
Like we
yeah.
literally did the whole thing.
The punchline was now you're going west. Essentially, yeah. That
It's
was
amazing. It's
Mhm.
amazing.
Very fitting.
I have as much fun with the other show, Crimes, Cults, and Cabernet,
Mhm.
because I
Yeah.
like to put in other words there like murder, mayhem, and Merlot. You know,
Right.
like
Oh
and
yeah.
I love
That
I
should
love
be our
playing with the
spin-off
hosts.
show.
Oh, that's the spinoff. That is
Yeah.
the fucking spinoff. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, that sounds like a fascinating case that you're covering on that, and everyone seems to think that you guys did a great job. So
Thank you, everybody.
I would be sure to
Yeah.
listen to that
Thank you,
later on.
everyone. Appreciate that.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
And I can understand why, you like to sort of dive into different kind of mysteries, because that sounds like a heavy one.
Mhm.
And while I think we all love to dive into the details, it is nice to sort of get a little refresh with something a little lighter.
Yeah.
Now, the episode for the dark parts that you mentioned wasn't exactly that much lighter. It was, it was definitely
Quite
know,
scary,
no-
actually. Yeah.
it's kind of scary,
Right.
creepy.
Yeah.
but what, like, is there like something What do you think of the Mothman? I'm just trying to ask a question.
Well,
I
I
knew
knew an
it.
episode on
I
Mothman. I'll
fucking
do
knew it.
Like, I'll
Wait,
switch
I don't
it.
know anything about the Mothman.
It's honestly,
It was either Mothman or Bigfoot. That was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tell me about the Mothman.
Well, Daphne.
I've heard of him. I just don't know
Daphne.
the guy.
I just don't know
Point-
her. We haven't shook hands.
Yeah. Well, Point Pleasant, West Virginia is where the Mothman is sort of known to have come from originally. And it's sort of a weird story. There was a lot of sightings of him, like apparently credible sightings of this winged creature, like, at least 6 to 10 feet tall with red eyes and wings. And that was happening in this pretty small town of Point Pleasant before the Silver Bridge collapsed. And so it's kind of, there's like some real unspeakable tragedy with that mystery. The Mothman part is really interesting. The bridge part is really sad. A lot of people kind of think that the Mothman was some kind of precursor to this tragedy, which obviously is a little bit of a wild conspiracy theory. But we are going to have a guest on Crawl Space in a few weeks. His name is Tobias Whalen. He is the Mothman.
Yes.
No,
He's DB Cooper.
Nailed him. We got them both, boys.
So there's apparently been sightings of a different Mothman, and you could just call it a cryptid, like a thunderbird, a big cryptid bird, humanoid flying creature over Lake Michigan. And so there's this documentary, I believe it's called The Search for the Lake Michigan Mothman. And Tobias actually wrote a book. I think it's called just The Lake Michigan Mothman, which I ordered today. I'm very excited to read, hopefully before the interview. But I don't know what it is about this topic that just like makes me, I can't drop it. I can't.
Is Mothman Pan Man's brother? We need to figure this out.
There's some similarities there, no doubt.
No, I honestly love that, Tim, and that's on my list of like ones I want to cover for sure. It's kind of a bigger one for sure, and I know that. So I'm always trying to like steer away from like the big ones that everybody knows, but at the end of the day, you got to do a Mothman. It's just got to be done.
Or cryptids, right?
We don't have a lot of cryptids.
We haven't done a lot of cryptids. We've done a few.
I feel like we
done
have
that?
just like we're trying to think of like scary stuff.
Yeah, like what are the episodes that we've done so far? And like I'm trying to
the Sykesville Monster is one I have on the list. But that's really the only like guy. Yeah, let's see what we've done.
For sure. I mean, there's ones like the Bunny Man that are pretty heavily covered. The Bunny Man.
The Bunny Man?
The Bunny Man.
What the fuck is that?
Have you heard it? Oh
no,
yeah,
I haven't.
Yeah.
But now I'm picturing a guy in a bunny suit coming in my attic.
That's you're extremely close. Yeah.
Ew.
So I think it's somewhere along the
what?
lines of it's somewhere along the lines of like this guy
Ooh, I see
who
it
would
now.
dress up in a bunny suit and like hang animals from a bridge, and then there was rumors that he would kill people and hang them from a bridge. I don't know. I need to get more into it, but I've heard it's a very popular one.
I'm sorry, I
Ugh.
need to like
Oh,
totally interrupt you.
no.
I was just saying thank you to
But we
Dee
have
for
done the
being excited
Rougarou.
about the dark parts.
Do you know
The Rougarou,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you
the
know
Rougarou? Yeah. Do you know?
Go
Louis-
on.
Yeah,
Louisiana
you know, okay.
Yeah.
See, but like we've also done like the elevator game. Do you know that?
No.
Scared. It's scary. Ah,
I don't
Oh,
like
there
what's
it is.
going on back there.
It's the Bunny Man.
It's the Bunny Man.
the elevator game is like it's like a ritual that's serviced online.
Mhm.
Wasn't it like 4chan or something? Like
Yeah, it's like one of those really scary
Kinda like
online
creepy
games
pasta
that
stuff.
people are like, don't play this game because you'll.
You have to like push certain numbers in an elevator at certain times, and you're supposed to go to like another dimension.
It'll take you to a different dimension. Like, yeah.
Wow.
And if you see you're gonna see the elevator opens and you're gonna see this person, but you can't look at them, and like it's so creepy. But it's so we found all these stories on Reddit of people who have supposedly tried this game and it has worked, and so it's pretty creepy. But what else?
Yeah, I mean, there's just
We haven't done very
I guess my
Well,
my question, like, how does that scratch that like itch for you that this is lighter than the murder
I
and
don't
missing
know.
I think
person
it's
cover?
not.
I don't know, Tim.
I don't think it's so much as lighter as it's just more like we can have more fun with it, goof around.
It's not
like,
as like
true crime is so
sad. It's not like
it's
tragic,
tragic
you
and
know?
so
Right.
serious,
not as like
but
heavy, but it's still
Yeah.
like horrifying.
I mean, like
Yeah.
you know, I'm talking about a fucking swamp monster in an episode. It's like it's hard for me to not laugh. Like I'm laughing throughout the whole episode because it's just fun and it's just silly.
Yeah.
You know?
it's fun. Yeah.
Okay. Here's a question. What is worse? If you're driving
Uh-huh.
late at night and you have a street light ahead and there's a figure underneath the street light, is it worse to see a clown or a bunny man?
A clown. Wait, what do you mean a
uh,
bunny man? Like a man in a suit or like a creature bunny?
Like the man and the bunny man,
Bunny man.
that you mentioned.
The man in the bunny suit.
No, I don't know the bunny man though.
um,
You do.
I think a clown. Probably. Yeah, I want to say a clown.
I would
because-
100% say a clown.
because I think there's more scenarios with a creepy
I don't wanna
clown
see
than with a
either.
bunny.
Yeah. What would you
Yeah.
say?
I think it would take longer for the clown to have gotten into the attire, right?
There's a
Yeah.
serious process where you can say
Right.
this isn't a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
All
so
I
I think
think
that
about
that would be
is-
my answer.
All I can think about is Art the clown from Terrifier. Like I'm
Yeah.
just picturing.
Yeah.
Oh, don't
Oh,
even.
his face is just so.
That movie, I will never watch it again.
It's horrifying.
Isn't there
it's
a
honestly so-
Terrifier 2? Or is it not?
Yeah,
out
Yes, they're making a Terrifier too. We
Oh,
actually
yeah.
had on one of our crawl space episodes, David Thornton.
Yeah,
David Thornton.
something or
Yeah.
other. Yeah, Art
We had the guy
Clown,
who
yeah.
played Art the Clown on
Oh,
one of our episodes. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
that's so creepy.
yeah.
Isn't
Is he
our
nice?
friend worked?
Oh,
on
he's
it.
so nice.
He
He's so
was.
funny.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better. Our friend Britt worked on the second one, and so we've been hearing about it a lot. And it seems like everybody that works on it is awesome and very cool. But the first one just sickened me. Like it's just
It's sickening.
It's too in that direction that I don't want to go.
Yeah.
And I will
That's
not
pretty
go there
crazy.
again.
Definitely brutal for sure.
Speaking of clowns, are you covering any of the stories
Why are
on
we talking
the?
about clouds?
We did. We actually did. Yeah, that was our what episode?
You just
was
look
that?
behind us too.
No. What episode was that? I think it was.
Oh, it was number 1.
No, it was episode 2. I think it was. We called it Killer Clowns. Yeah. We
Oh,
we
cool.
Talk about it. We go into movies. Oh shit! It was episode 1. Okay, yeah. We go
Doesn't
into
matter.
movies. We go into. Of course, you can't talk about creepy clowns without talking about John Wayne Gacy. And then we talk about.
Oh,
I
remember?
can't remember.
Remember that story in the news?
Oh yeah, in like 2014 to 16, there was like just mysteriously clowns appearing.
Oh,
like-
that's what I was talking about. Yeah, that was specifically.
yeah.
what-
That's, I
totally,
remember
yeah.
when that happened.
Uh-huh.
We did talk about that. Yes.
And they were telling people they were telling kids don't do this because there was one incident I think where a kid had dressed up like a clown and somebody ran him over because he jumped out in the road. I don't know why, but somebody ran him over. So they're like, don't do the clown thing. But as people will be people, kids will be kids, I guess.
If someone jumped out as a clown as I'm driving, and someone jumped out at me and I'd run them over. There's
I mean,
no
100%. Yeah. Are you going to take
no
your
question in my mind that there's murder involved.
You did.
My sister was driving once, and this is different, but my sister was driving once and she saw somebody, it was like in October, and she saw somebody while driving wearing a ghost face mask at night. And I remember her saying how much that scared her. And I remember another time, probably around that same era, like maybe, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, I was driving to work and I pulled up alongside this woman who it wasn't even October. It was not Halloween. And she was literally wearing a doll mask, while driving. It was horrifying. I really got very scared because I
That's very
wasn't
scary.
expecting
That's
such a
very
thing
scary.
to look
You should-
over at.
You should tell them the story about when your mom made you get out in the canyon
Oh.
with the occult people.
So I grew up.
Yeah, you know the story. It's good.
I grew up on Malibu Lake. So it's in Malibu Lake is right next to Malibu. It's not on the coast, but it's inland just a little bit, probably 5-10 minute drive to actually Malibu, but it feels like you're kind of more in the wilderness.
Mhm.
And so next to that is Paramount Ranch, which is where all these old Western movies were filmed. And where that is located, sadly it burned down in a fire a few years ago, but there's all these like sprawling hillsides, like great hiking trails. So my mom
Canyons
hikes
and
there all the
stuff.
time. Yeah, canyons.
Mhm.
So to get to our house, like we'd have to go through this canyon, like if you go to the store or wherever you go. So it was like a thing where my mom would hike all the time, and she would just send me pictures of these, like wrapped sticks, like very like
Yeah, it was
Blair
very
Witch.
like Blair Witch,
Yeah.
like the sticks that are like crossed and wrapped in twine and stuff or whatever it is.
And like fruit and like just different shit, like offerings. And she would always like come across them. One time she came across this, it was like a landing where it was like off a little cliff's edge within this hiking trail. And she sent me a picture, and it was like this whole ritual, like this circle of stones and all these twigs, and they're just left there. And she's hiking in the day. So she always would send me photos. And I was always like, oh my God, that's so like creepy at the time. I'm like, what is that? Like, where did that come from? And this is when I was a teenager. But so one night she had told me previously that she had seen these witches, and they dress in cloaks and they
The robes and
go,
stuff.
in these like hooded robes, and they walk to this ritual site in that same hiking area, and they do what they do, and that's it. And so I was always like, how is this happening? Like literally 4 minutes away from our house. Like, what is this? So one night we were at Trader Joe's, and we're just going home, and we see all these cars parked, and my mom's like, oh my God, it's the witches. So she leans over and she opens my car door, and there's all these people like in these hooded cloaks standing there, and it's pitch black, and we're like stopped right next to them. And I was just really scared because I didn't know who they were, and they were probably just nice people who I was definitely not crying, but I was definitely,
crying.
she was cracking up. She thought it was very funny that I was creeped out, but yeah.
I mean, who knows what they were doing? Maybe they were doing some cool stuff or some good stuff. Who knows?
I don't
No, they
know.
weren't.
Maybe they're not
We
bad
don't
people.
know.
I
We
don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what were they doing? Like,
I don't know, like offering things to someone. I have no idea. So my mom still will, once in a while, she'll come across those still to this day, 'cause she still lives over there. And I just think it's so crazy that happens. I've never been able to find anything about it on Google of that area specifically. I don't know who these people are, where they come from. It's really interesting.
This needs to be further investigated.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Do you think
agree.
we still do it today? Like
Well,
Tuesday?
just a few months ago, my mom sent me a photo, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Still, like this was 8 years ago when I
Wow.
remember this
Yeah,
was
we're in the same
happening.
spot.
So I don't know who these people are, or what days they go out, or how we would find them. I really have no clue. But yeah,
Denisha says we should investigate. So
Yeah. Someone needs to go undercover.
wait, is D Denisha?
Deep undercover.
How do you know that,
Yeah.
she said, hey, it's Denisha.
Denisha? I've been calling you D.
Oh,
What's up, Denisha? But yeah. Anyway, sorry, that was a very long-winded story for
No,
somebody.
that was a
Sounds
fantastic
Interesting.
story.
Totally was.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what even to say about that. Like, what would you even do like to take that further?
I don't know. Like they line their cars up on the canyon, and then they just walk in these cloaks. And so if you happen to pass
I think-
by at the right time,
I think what you should do is
knock
you should just like get a cloak
and
Right.
and just like fall into line. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yep.
Just, like,
Yep.
just follow them in, and then
This
I think
sounds
that's
Yep.
that's the first thing. Yep. First thing you do.
sounds
Yeah.
very eyes wide shut.
Fall in.
yeah, you just fall in line essentially. That's how
Yep.
you do it.
You get the cloak, you stake them out, you look, you just wait for them to start their line, and then you just hop out of the car. Okay. So
Right,
you
yeah,
get
yeah.
three pretty easy steps. It might take a week or two after you get the cloak, but just waiting it out, but once they're there, I imagine if you just show up with the black cloak, they're going to be like, oh, cool. You're here
Yeah,
too
it's
now.
One of us. One of
Yeah.
us.
Probably very excited.
I've always been so curious about it, and I just have no answers.
I keep imagining the scene in Eyes Wide Shut when they realize that Tom Cruise is an imposter.
Oh,
Spoiler alert.
Oops.
Oh shit. Yeah, I have not seen that.
It's on HBO Max,
How have you
I
not
think
seen
right
that?
now.
Burn us now. It's okay.
Did you, and
Yeah.
you just used a line from the Burbs, right, Heath? Was that They're One of Us? They're One of Us? Was that
Oh wait.
You love the
specifically
I
from
love
the Burbs? Okay.
Maybe. Oh yeah. Maybe. No. It's Oh, what is it? Oh shoot. What does he say?
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah. What about it?
Yeah.
What about it? Yeah.
I watched that for the first time,
Oh.
maybe 4 months ago.
The Donald Sutherland one.
The Donald Sutherland one.
The end is
Super
terrifying.
effective movie.
The end is terrifying. There's so much paranoia in that movie. It's great.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
really
great
great.
movie.
Yeah.
But the
also
very
love
last shot.
stuff like
Oh my
Wicker
God.
Man is really great, like the original Wicker Man. Or have you seen Don't Look Now? That's also Donald.
Yes.
Good 70s.
Yes.
Horror.
When his kid dies or like a child
Yeah.
dies in like a
Yeah.
it's a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
The original Wicker
Oh.
Man, did you know that was it Christopher Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know he accepted like almost no money to play that role because he felt like that role was going to be his defining role in his career.
Really? That's incredible. Little did he know. I mean, that he would have many career defining moments, but
True.
but that's amazing that he was so passionate, because honestly, that I think that film is one of the great occult films in history. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's so good. I watched it when I was a kid, didn't think it was scary, couldn't wrap my head around it. And then it's one of those rare films, once you learn about the world and then you get older and you watch it, you're like, holy fucking shit, this is scary.
It's very scary. Yeah, they play it off as like kind of this like almost
It's
like
a good
flower powery, like it's kind of like cutesy, but then when you really realize what's going on, you're like, yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah. I think what you were talking about, Tim, was the line from the Burbs. Was it Satan is our pal, Satan is our friend?
Yeah.
Oh my God, such a great movie. God,
I love the Burbs too. Yeah, such a great one.
It is.
yeah, we could have a podcast of our own of just horror movies. I mean, we could.
Wait,
please.
can I hear about the bird thing now, or is it not time?
Sure. No, I think it is definitely time. We got only about
All right, let's
10
I don't
minutes
know if you
left
had
or
any
so.
other like things you wanted to bring up, but I would love to hear about this bird thing.
Not really. There was this article that came out today in the Guardian by Zoe Esquire Williams, I guess. But the article is called "The Lunacy is Getting More Intense: How Birds Aren't Real Took on Conspiracy Theorists." And so it's about this birds aren't real movement. Have you heard of this movement?
No,
I have heard of it, but I don't know the details. So
I don't know a thing.
Yeah. So apparently it's kind of like a troll job, really. So this kid right here, he's like a student, and he was just really kind of fed up with protests and people holding signs, and actually specifically counter protests to the women's marches that were happening around the country. He said it felt like chaos because the world felt like chaos. And he said there was no counter protests that had they had no business being at that event, a woman's march for counter protests.
Mm-hmm.
So he wrote a big sign one night that just said "Birds aren't real," and he held it up, and and it got a lot of attention, and there were a bunch of pictures taken of it, and the movement sort of spread.
And then people were like, "Wow, birds maybe aren't real."
Yeah, I think it's a really wild story because he's mocking conspiracies by creating his own. That like some people kind of believe at first, like, so he goes deeper. He's actually gone on radio shows and podcasts in character and saying how birds were created by the CIA and they're actually all drones. Every bird that you see is a drone.
That's the one that I've heard of, that kind of spin-off or that take on it, is that birds are just that's why I said birds are robots, or they're drones that were created to like spy on people, like some NSA shit or whatever.
Yeah. And so apparently like the QAnon people who are already kind of a little radicalized, you could say, in the conspiracy world,
Mhm.
they actually spun it even further. They say that it's actually like this kid and anyone who's holding a birds aren't real sign, they're actually working for the CIA, and this is a CIA psyop, psychological operation about trying to sort of minimize like conspiracies.
Oh,
Wow.
so that's the end goal then, is to minimize conspiracies by creating a conspiracy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's really a wild read, and I was doing a little bit of research on it today, and this kid is like some kind of comic genius. I feel like he has a YouTube show where it's plays very much like Between Two Ferns.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like almost like a Funny or Die skit. And he's actually been pictured with Will Ferrell. He's got a pretty popular Instagram page. I think it's just Birds Aren't Real. And he must be doing something with Will Ferrell.
So does he make money just by doing this, or like he obviously goes on shows
now? Yeah, this new
Makes
article
enough money to buy that fine hat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he needs money to buy some more dope hats like that. So yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. I was surprised that the kid, he's 23. He has like more wisdom about this sort of conspiracy moment that I think the country and maybe the world is experiencing than most people, I would say. Like he's mocking it in a way that isn't really like upsetting anyone. He says that like people with Trump bumper stickers and Bernie Sanders bumper stickers will like join a Birds Aren't Real protest or whatever you'd call that.
Really
Interesting. So basically the Birds Aren't Real movement is going to bring us all together. That's essentially what you're saying.
I hope so.
Break the divide, and we are all going to gather, and this young man is going to be the next president of the United States.
I mean, I really hope
I'd vote
so.
for him.
Yeah,
I'd vote for him. I mean,
Just 'cause the hat.
people voted for Kanye, so it is what it is.
Yeah, it really just shows you he's 23 years old. Every once in a while, every so often, I really think what he's doing is brilliant on a lot of levels. And every so often in a generation, you get these individuals who you're just in awe of because of what they managed to like think through and put into effect. And it's so clear that he took the concept of QAnon, these insane theories, and was like, what can I do? How can I play with this? And
it became a huge thing.
Yeah, and it's brilliant that a 23-year-old applies his talent in that direction. And I think that's a really incredible, honestly, it says a lot about just like the way he was brought up, probably the way he was raised. And
so he was actually raised religious, apparently, and he said that he thinks that that's one reason that he kind of is able to mock it, because he kind of removed himself from that religious upbringing. But he also said that he thinks that a lot of the people who believe the conspiracy theories are religious as well, sort of saying that you're, I guess, conditioned to believe something that you really can't debate. It's faith. So it's so instead of just saying birds aren't real and they are real, even you have to spin it into something. Oh, this guy must be CIA.
Right.
So
yeah.
So it's a really weird article and moment. I think I really try to stay away from like the political angle of it.
Sure.
I mean, when you say QAnon, people will jump all over you, or you'll get your YouTube video taken down just for freaking saying QAnon is a cult or anything. You say QAnon's a cult on YouTube, and your video is taken down. Like, we're gonna get a strike for that.
Well, I think that goes back to like just the way that people were, like you said, the way that people were raised and conditioned. Like I grew up in kind of that setting as well, where somebody would tell me something and it was just like I automatically believed it, because it was it was this person who I saw as authority in the church telling me something. So it was like, you have to believe it. And so that and that could be that way with anything. I mean, it could be that way with literally anything, because when you're a kid, you I was actually just talking about a study that was done where they like learned that kids they imitate things a lot in life, you know, and it's very easy for them to do that. So it's like and it's even more strange when you see adults do that, you know, when you see them imitate different things. I don't know, it's very interesting.
Now we know.
Yeah.
No, I know.
I can't wait to see how this whole thing plays out, because this is just scratching the surface of the proverbial iceberg.
But is this a new thing, or was this something? Because I feel like is it like, because I thought it was maybe a couple years old.
Yeah, I don't think it's brand new.
Right, but it's just hitting like mainstream.
Oh,
Well,
I see.
hadn't
Now
heard
it's
about
starting
it.
to like pick up steam now. Okay.
So he's trying to make it into a career now, I think. So I just posted a link to his YouTube video, his first YouTube episode, called The Truth Report. And like, you know, everyone in the comments understands exactly what he's doing. You know, like, here's a comment: cannot believe there are people who trust media other than this. This is so inspiring. I thought that all journalism was corrupt. I'm so glad to see an upstanding citizen taking action. You know, so everyone's playing along.
The only person you can believe is Birdman.
That's
no
so
one else. Bird Boy.
Wait, what's his name?
This kid's name is Peter McIndoe.
Peter McIndoe.
He was studying psychology at the University of Arkansas. So, you know, there is like a psychological element to it.
This is just an experiment is really what it is. I
mean, he did it as a joke, and it like literally took off, and now he's hanging out with Will Ferrell, and he's got a comedy career because of it.
That's pretty sick. I mean, isn't it funny though how that can happen? Like how one thing, like we're so I don't know, just social media is so silly that like you could do one little thing and the next minute you're like rubbing elbows with like a massive celebrity. Like it could be the stupidest thing. It
like
could
the
be
Yodel Kid.
Like the Yodel Kid. I mean, he wasn't even like, you know, and now he's like,
now he's Mason
hits.
Ramsey.
Now he's Mason Ramsey putting out hits, you know, like it's just crazy how like the silliest things can like explode.
Really is.
Well, guys, we were coming to the end of our hour, but I wanted to drop this game on you.
Oh yeah.
Yes, seeing as it's going to be a quick game, seeing as the two of you are experts on all things West, we are going to play a game that features Adam West.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
Simple 3-question, true or false. Or not true or false, maybe a couple, maybe true or false here or there. I'm going to ask you 3 questions about Adam West.
Okay, perfect. Let's do it.
Adam West, as you know, played the original Batman in the TV series Batman. He also played the mayor of what fictional town in an animated series? So name the town in the series if you can.
No, I got this. Oh shoot! It's in Massachusetts or in New England. It's in New England. Pawtucket's? No.
Close.
Very close.
Same state.
I know it's in Family Guy.
Okay.
Yes. I think we could probably accept that. It's
okay. Yeah. It's there's like the brewery in the town. It's like, shoot, what is it?
It's Quahog.
Oh, Quahog.
What?
Oh my God.
So
Quahog.
What did you?
No, there's all
right.
Oh my God.
Wait,
Whatever.
what?
Okay. Anyway.
True or false? True or false? Adam West studied with Vincent Price and Marlon Brando under the acting tutorial or under the acting direction of Lee Strasberg.
True.
100% false.
It just seemed too specific.
That seemed really specific.
Yeah, no.
That was pretty good.
Did you make that up?
I did make that up.
God damn it.
I wasn't paying attention to this entire conversation because I was thinking about it.
Oh my God.
Okay, true or false? After Adam West left the military, which he was drafted, left the military before moving to Hawaii to pursue an acting career. He was a milkman.
I'm going to go ahead and say true. I want to say true.
I concur.
I'll go false. Who moves to Hawaii to be an actor?
Wait. Yeah, wait, what? Yeah, hold on. Maya,
Wait,
that is
okay,
my
hold
question
on.
too. Hawaii.
Hmm.
Is the whole thing a question or just the milkman?
I'm going
The
to
milkman.
Give the other
It's-
part of the question.
It's so outlandish that I'm going true.
But we said that about the last question.
Okay,
It is
yeah.
true. It is true.
Yeah. Nice.
Here's my
That's my
vote.
boy, Adam West. There we go.
Those are your that's your game. That's your game for the week.
Oh,
I love it.
wow. Classic.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Classic.
Great job.
Fantastic.
Great job.
Well, thank you, Daphne and Heath and the chat room for joining us here tonight. This has been an
Everybody.
absolute blast hanging out. Check out the Birds Aren't Real videos. Just put that into YouTube, The Truth Report. I swear to God, it's really funny.
Yeah.
And check out the Going West podcast. Make sure you subscribe, you follow, or whatever jargon Apple Podcasts or Spotify's using these days. Who cares?
And
Also-
the
You know
dark
what I'm
parts,
talking about.
and the dark parts, get
And
all
the
over the
dark
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 parts.
Horse, but
Yeah.
also make sure that you guys watch Pan Man 2.
Yes.
That-
Oh,
when's that
well,
coming out? When's
Goes
that
It's close.
thing.
It's still in it's in the writing phase.
It's in pre-pro, as they say in the biz. Pre-pro.
Yeah.
Pre-pro.
pre-pro.
It's in pre-pro.
Yeah, but it's on the tentative slate for 2023.
Perfect.
For
I'm
release
excited.
or
Also,
filming?
For filming.
the next
Yes.
time we are on is going to be the Tuesday before CrimeCon. So Tuesday, Crime and Culture Live, we will be joined by a very special guest, a gentleman who we had on a few weeks ago named Mitch Horowitz. The two of you, Daphne and Heath, will love this guy. He is a master of New Age
Everything.
philosophy, esoteric religions, everything.
Yeah.
He wrote a book called American Occult or Occult America, The Miracle Club. Just a fascinating human being. So he's going to be on with us.
Calming
should be a
presence.
great calming presence. I'm calm just thinking about him.
Wow. Very common.
He's written several self-help books. I think that's probably where his calming presence comes from. But no, he's good, really great author and interesting guy. Like basically, you could throw any kind of question at him about Mothman, about psychic ability, whatever you want, and he'll swing and he'll nail it. He'll at least get a base hit or a double.
Oh,
I'll be in the comments.
Yeah,
I'll be in the comments.
absolutely.
and I'm gonna spring an Adam West trivia game on him, and he'll nail it. We'll play until he gets one
Any of
wrong.
You guys.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Can't wait
And
to see you in 2 weeks.
yes,
Yes.
I know. I cannot wait. We're gonna cause a stir.
Absolutely.
When we were
Say
on
hi.
podcast road, just as a goof, we should just Zoom. We should just have a Zoom.
Oh, yeah.
Like we'll fire up our laptop.
Oh,
You guys
I
can fire
love
up your
it. Oh my
laptop,
God.
and we'll do a virtual live show
Wait, is
next
it
to each other.
is it
I
like
love that. Your booth, our booth.
is it 'cause I don't know how many people are going to be on podcast row, but is it like are we going to be in the same like area or does it extend throughout multiple rooms? Like are we going to be too far away from each other? Do I need to, send an email?
Right.
No, I
like
think
it's-
we should be within sight, probably in a big ballroom with a bunch of tables, I would say.
Yes.
Well, I love
Although they typically seat Tim and I. If you've ever been to like an opera house, you have like the Queen's, the Queen's area, like where Abraham Lincoln sat in,
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
the
oh,
Ford
yeah.
Theater. Yeah.
Like
So we
above.
overlook the proceedings.
Yeah, or
Royalty,
like those-
as mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
CrimeCon
Well,
royalty.
those two guys from the Muppets, I feel like too. But
That's exactly.
100%, yeah. Oh my God.
that is much more accurate. Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Ginger, we will be bringing our gowns.
yes,
I'll bring my gown as well.
Wait, is Michelle
I'm
coming?
bringing
Or Michelle, you going
so
to
many
that wedding?
gowns.
No, you guys are going to be wearing gowns. That's what Ginger wants. So I
Yes.
think
F
you-
yes.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
feels right.
yeah.
That feels right.
Yeah.
1,000% wearing my ball gown. I'm the belle of the ball. And I'm just gonna sit there and fan myself and say, "What I declare."
All of a sudden,
We'll feed you
all of a sudden
grapes.
Lance is Southern.
Yes.
He's a Southern belle.
I'm a Southern belle, and I will not be courted by just some scoundrel.
Oh my god.
I'm not a sporting woman.
Oh, I can't wait to do
Well.
big ol' hug.
Yes, let's do a group hug.
Yes.
Well, everyone, thank you for hanging out tonight. This has been an absolute blast. We will be back in 2 weeks on Tuesday, the 27th or 26th of April. That's going to be a blast. And thank you so much. Make sure to follow and subscribe to Going West, and we will see you at CrimeCon. Thank you.